Hello everyone, and welcome back to Killigan's Treasure. Good old Mackie boy here is giving us a little bit of a lecture. He's still going, he's going the lot, yes. So my hypothesis is that someone who's versed in practicing amnesics, still don't know that, utilized it to make so that that only you can make the map glow. And by extension, that glowing is likely the trail that you traveled so far. It must be quite a complex enchantment if it goes as far as tracking where you are in Canavar. Do you know anyone from Redroot who would have had the ability to enchant your map with amnesics? This word's hard. Amnetics. I don't know. Like this? Who would be able to enchant my map with the soul manipulating magic of the Ma? It could only have been Ma, I think. She did a lot of magic-based work, made tons of enchantment scrolls, even went on a lot of trips to... Here, actually, the Arcane Academy. Are you certain? Your mother was a Bavolian too, right? Positive, yeah. Her being able to actually use magic was a testament to how skilled she was with it. So if she was messing with a lot of magic stuff, I guess it kind of makes sense she'd dig into forbidden magic like amnesics. I see. But why would she use such dangerous magic like that in a connection with you? Beats me. I should probably be thanking her, though. If the map only works when I'm holding it, that means Zakar and Tavi ain't even gonna get much use out of it. They are using it to extort you, however. Since they still have it and believe you're a Bavolian from the Vator Coven. Yeah, that's a fair point. Still, a little victory. And all of those reasons to kick Zakar's ass in the summit, and get it back. Indeed. Speaking of the summit, I'm feeling it's time to get some shut-eye. I want to keep my rest up for the week ahead. Oh, of course. I'll be studying for my next day's exams while you're slumber, in contrast to what I was doing last night. I should also mention that a Vatorian Covenant history report seems to really impress the wizard I handed it to. It was quite satisfying to see her scales pale as she realized only I could have written such a thorough masterpiece. Huh. Glad to hear it, bud. Good night, Mac. Good night. With that, I undress, enough to get comfortable in my bedsheets, while Mac pulls out a couple notebooks and lays down on his bed to study them. Well, I don't really know how to feel about Mac having used amnetics on me. I mean, I was probably so young whenever she did it. I don't even remember anything about it. Plus, what she did hasn't hurt me in any way, just guided me along a path on that map. But still, if amnetics is as dangerous as Ma says it is, what other use could it have had? Did Ma practice it on anyone else, or was I the only one? I still wonder how she was even able to do magic in the first place. My worries begin to fade as I slowly lose my grasp on consciousness. Guess I'll worry about it another day. Yeah. Oh. There we go. A brand new day. Very good. No? What are we doing? Oh. It feels like my back's getting stiffer and stiffer while sleeping on this floor so much. I wonder if they sell bundles of hay or grass in town. Max already headed off to class, but the looks of his dorm seems more ransacked than usual. Probably misplaced a notebook or forgot something at the last minute, I guess. I've got plenty to do today myself. I need to get dressed and get going and get breakfast. Breakfast? How many of you people actually eat breakfast? I typically skip that set of life, you know? I don't need it. Wait, what am I doing? What am I... There we go. Okay. Good? We're good. Yeah? Am I satisfied with this? We are satisfied with this. That ought to be good enough. I use a couple of scrolls Matt gave me to head out of the dorm. My mind's wandering back to that whole ammonetics thing from last night. Didn't Paul mention something about the map glowing for him too? I definitely remember him saying how she pulled the same thing on me, but it was such a long time ago before I was born, and it led them out of Redroot. Why would she need to use some kind of magic instead of just marking where to go on with pencil? I messed up that sentence, that's fine. Maybe I'm worrying over nothing, though. She's probably enchanted the map like that, so only Pa and I could use it to keep us safe. But... safe from who? The Vitor Coven? This ain't the place to think about this kind of stuff. Oh? Who are you? Shit. Which kingdom sent you? Answer me, Bavolian. A powerful aura of magic is radiating from this Skrilzy woman. How should I respond? Explain myself? None of it. None of them. I ain't with any kingdoms. I'm just a regular old Bovo, here to compete in the Athlama Summit. I find that very difficult to believe. You saw fit to board with one of the mages here, instead of one of Eris's many lodgings. Why? They ain't got the money. Specifically with all of the fuss over the summit. That is even more difficult to believe. Bavolians never leave the mountains empty-handed. Well, this one did, believe it or not. I'd like to head out of here now, if you don't mind. No. You'll be coming with me. I need to thoroughly ascertain the real reason you are here. By force, if necessary. The magic emanating from her finger is almost tangible. It's got to be several times more powerful than any magic I've seen Mac use. I swear I can feel the air around me start to tighten, as if she's about to use some kind of constricting spell on me. Alright, fine. I'll go quietly. Good. Follow. Good. I follow after the Skrilzy woman, as instructed. She swapped positions with me after a few paces, forcing me to walk ahead of her as she directs me where to go, as if I'm on a leash. We slowly meandered through the twisting hallways of the academy as mages look on in fear. She's still radiating some powerful magic, probably poised to use it if I decide to turn tail and run. I don't think I'd get very far if I did, and I doubt I could land a blow quick enough before she could use some kind of spell. After climbing a long spiral staircase, we arrive at a large octagonal room with every inch covered with magical paraphernalia. This is my office, high atop one of the Academy's spires. Sit. Ignore the mess. I've been entrenched in personal research lately. I take a seat in a lavish chair across from the even more lavish chair she sits down in. Well, Now, as far as formalities, I am head wizard Kamoli. I hope that's how that's pronounced. I lead this academy in arcanic studies among the mages and other wizards.
Good to meet you. Name's Killigan.
Charmed. So, you've come to Eris to participate in the Athlema Summit, correct?
Yeah.
That's quite unusual for someone from the Voltoran Covenant. I would have guessed you would be discussing amizorial matters with actual pure scales.
The whoa now?
I suppose word of mouth regarding the Athlema Summit has gone as far as penetrating past the Great Gate. So, it does seem believable that a Bavolian such as yourself has come to claim your fame, as it were.
Pretty much, yeah.
Next, I'd like to discuss a recent history report I received detailing the Voltoran Covenant and Bavolian physiology specifically. Consequently, it was written by the very same mage whose dormitory you emerged from. I'm assuming you were involved with it, correct?
Yeah, you got me. It was part of me helping him for letting me board with him for a while.
I see. It seems he addressed most aspects correctly, although there were a few parts he was incorrect on. But I see where he may have pulled from.
Wait, what do you mean?
Bavolians I've met in the past have either had their eyes obscured or had white scalded. I don't know that word. It's fine. Not yellow like yours.
Really?
Indeed. Although it's been quite some time since I've met with one of your kind, it's quite possible I could be mistaken. Additionally, you don't exhibit any of the features a Galmish would have. You seem to be pure Bavolian otherwise. Except, perhaps... Killigan? I'm so sorry, I didn't... Maxin of the Calcilia brood? Just what are you? Keep it together, Kamali. The semester is almost over. Maxin, not only have you violated my office hours by barging up here without proper recourse, but you've brought a Bavolian within our walls. I know. I'm... Spit it out. What do you have to say for yourself? What should I do? Intervene?
Miss Kamoli, it ain't Mac's fault I'm here. I didn't really have any other options.
What exactly do you mean? It's okay, Killigan. I want to stand up for myself this time.
No, sure, if you say so.
But I really appreciate the concern. Thank you. Head Wizard Kamoli, about a week ago I invited Killigan to board with me to learn more about his kind. I was initially interested in learning more about the Voltoran Covenant from him, since it's extremely rare for Bavolians to even be this far west. However, upon learning of Killigan's plight, I wanted to help him out in any way that I could, no matter what risks there were. Risks? You risked harboring a Bavolian over keeping this academy free from potential political strife. A blatant disregard for the integrity of pure education here will not be tolerated, Maxon. Okay, I don't think I can do this yet, and I really don't want to get expelled. Please say something, Killigan.
Miss Kamoli, what Max says really is true. I didn't mean to cause y'all trouble. I ain't even with the Vatoran Coven, or any of the kingdoms, or all that.
Is that so? Then from where do you hail?
Of the old town of West Redroot.
Redroot. That's quite an odd place for a Bavolian to venture here from. I wonder, which clan or family were you born into?
The Stoneworths. Riff and Seraph were my parents.
Sierra, are you... Is she still alive?
No. She's been dead for a long time. Along with my pa as of a few weeks ago.
I see. I should have realized it sooner.
You know her.
When she last departed and never returned, all those years ago, I had assumed it was to conduct more personal research and be with her family. Of course, she departed from this world. And of course, you would be her son. Your fur color, your horn shape, it's crystal clear now. It's identical to hers. The tension in the air begins to ease, becoming less magically charged and much more like a casual conversation at the tavern. A real, refined-looking tavern. With us with its only occupants. Oh, excuse me. It's evident now that we've started off on the wrong end of the scepter. I humbly apologize for mistaking you as one of the Vatoran Bavolians, Killigan.
It's alright. I figured you're just, doing what's best for y'all's academy. And I'm getting pretty used to being treated like those mountain bovos, so no harm, no foul.
Ah, so you have your mother's sense of compassion as well. It's fascinating. It never once wavered in all the decades I worked with her.
Do y'all go way back or something?
Indeed. We were extraordinary colleagues and one might say rivals in my younger years. Her extensive studies on every school of magic and how they can be applied to enchanting gave us a wealth of magical knowledge to pore over. It's a pity she's passed on so soon. Tell me, how did she meet her demise?
A tree fell on her. She sacrificed herself to save me from getting crushed by the tallest tree in Redroot.
That's rather unfortunate. I'm very sorry to hear that. She did often say she wanted to do anything that would be best for her family.
Yeah, that sounds like her.
I suppose it's honorable of a way as any of her to depart from our lives. It's as honorable as okay. What of Redroot? She cared for the town nearly as much as for you and your family, if memory serves. And we haven't heard of any news from that town in quite a long time.
It's, burned to the ground. It happened a few days after my pa died, in fact. Whole town pretty much succumbed to the pestilence.
Really? That shouldn't have happened. We sent a generation's worth of deterrence bans towards Redroot ages ago.
What? We ain't ever got anything like that.
You didn't? It was approximately a decade ago when we sent them. Are you certain nobody from your town distributed them to your people?
I don't know for sure. Around that time, I was just starting to work with Pa in the shop and still acting like an angry little bull. If we'd gotten those bans, Pa, the whole town, they might still be alive today. I should have known about those bans.
Wait, Killigan, it's not your fault. Someone must have been responsible for the deterrence bands never reaching Redroot, right? It seems quite odd for something that important to have never reached its people.
Yeah, you got a point. It was probably because of those,
Wait. God, I should know this word. I know this word. My mouth. They just can't form word.
abominations, if anything. I barely got out of the wilds in one piece thanks to those fuckers.
Abominations? Of what nature were they?
Magical, I think. They look something like melting deer with a real piercing bellow. Kinda like an echoey figure. But if something went really wrong...
Intriguing. Perhaps I'll look into researching these abominations after the semester concludes. I'm beginning to understand the severity of the life you've lived up to this point, Killigan, and I must offer my condolences. I cannot imagine the pain you must have endured just to reach Eris, and I truly wish that fate would have dealt Sierra's son a better hand.
No, thanks. It's real appreciated, honestly. I never knew my ma had a close friend like you out here.
Yes, a real pity. However, I do have one last question pertaining to your situation. How did you venture here from Redroot if you are lacking a deterrence band?
Good question. I got no idea.
No guesses at all? If we can extrapolate what you did to reach this point without a band, we may be able to save others from falling victim to it. What if it had something to do with the animanetics? So it was you who pulled that book on animanetics from the library? I was intentionally bound for... I was bound for your dorm to retrieve that book before harm was done, Maxon. But I see it's already corrupted your thoughts.
Well, hang on. He was looking stuff up that, because of me. You see, my pa gave me this enchanted treasure map just before he passed away, but we don't know what kind of magic's in it. And it's also kind of lost right now, but that's a long story.
Yes, we ruled out the other schools of magic, so animanetics seems like it's the only one that has the potential to make sense. It has a special trail that only glows when Killigan himself is holding the map. How odd. So you say Sierra may have been dabbling in animanetics? It certainly would not have been beyond her level of prowess. To think that she would have put it into practice, however. That's also the possibility that if you also used it on you, I wonder if that has something to do with how you made it here without a deterrence band. Oh, I have an additional note that might help. Really? Yes. I filled out an entire notebook on the information I've gained since I first met Killigan. There's a lot in there that I cut from my history report, like his dick size, but it's still as extensive as I could make it.
And, you didn't feel like telling me about it.
Well... Very well. I'll cross-reference this notebook of yours with my own research and see if there's anything I can pull from it. Excellent!
Mac pulls out a once small journal that's absolutely overflowing with pages and places it on the small corner of the head wizard's desk that isn't covered with other notebooks and papers.
I must say, this has been quite a productive conversation, Killigan and Maxon. Quite a drastic turnaround from what I originally brought you up here for.
Yeah, no kidding.
Agreed?
Always thought Ma was up here doing work on her own. Good to see she met someone to help her out.
Am I correct to assume that I'm out of trouble now? No. Oh? I will need to sort out the most suitable punishment for this situation. But for now, simply finish your exams. You are no longer under the threat of expulsion. Oh. As for you, Killigan, I will be briefing the other wizards on your presence in Eris. Fortunately, they will be too busy with their mages exams and reports to bother you. After graduation, however, they may have other ideas. For the time being, I would appreciate it if you could just board at one of the taverns and away from other mages' eyes.
Fair enough. It ain't really something I could easily afford, though. Was lucky enough to get it out of Redroot in one piece.
Understandable. Here, I may not be able to properly say goodbye to Sierra, but I can certainly give her son a generous welcome gift. Oh, money. Money.
Whoa, this is a ton of euros.
It should suffice enough for lodging until the upcoming weekend, at least at the standard competitors rate, with some leftover for meals and the like.
Thanks, really appreciate it.
Of course. Now, I have a multitude of reports to evaluate and several exams to administer this afternoon. I would like to complete them without any more mishaps, so the two of you are dismissed. Understood. Thanks, Head Wizard. I'll send for you once I've combed through Maxon's notebook, Killigan. Having read his work before, it would likely be after graduation. The soft scale really seemed to adore rambling on aimlessly.
Yeah, he's got a knack for that. See you then, Miss Kamoli. Great meeting ya.
Likewise. Okay, I'm gonna end the part here, everyone, so I'll see you guys around.